Go.
Jeez, he went 3-2 and didn't say one.
I mouthed it.
Oh, you mouthed it. And
really,
we got
Bruce?
Mr. Slurper that doesn't drink
you
water
doing?
until we decided to record a video. Thought I'd get a video out, even though it's been kind of a boring as far as things coming in. The market is so dead right now.
Oh
Everything's so dead. No one's ordering. No one's doing anything. Between Pokemon with Obsidian Flame is probably the most dismal releases, I think.
Oh, it's sad.
Of ever. Well, not of ever. There's been some Pokemon. One of the reasons why I didn't carry Pokemon back in the day, we're talking back in Sun and Moon, so at least Pokemon has historical kind of times where this has happened, and that's why I didn't touch Pokemon, because Pokemon burned me. This has got to be back in, what, like 2018, 17, somewhere around there?
Yeah.
And I remember that Pokemon flooded the market because it started to get hot again. I remember what came out at that time period. What did Pokemon
I don't.
It was something that made
it was like
Pokemon
Sun and
kinda
Moon
hot.
or something. Or,
yeah, and then it got really hot, and then they did an overprinting for Pokemon, which is crazy when they kind of laugh at that because the amount of they printed in this last era is so much more. Triple, quadruple, probably quintuple. Like, it is way higher than that era. But I remember that era that Pokemon boxes were being blown out. And I got burned pretty hard on Pokemon. Is when we didn't have a lot of capital and a lot of money. And I just said, you know, to hell with it. I'm not going to stock Pokemon. It's just a really toxic thing to because it was the same concept back then that if you wanted to get anything, you'd have to pre-order it, and you'd have to take everything you pre-ordered, and there wasn't a constant supply that you could just go in and like click on a distributor and order. That's still the same problem we were having with Pokemon, is it's miserable to just order after pre-release if people just want residual orders. So the only like real way to do it was if I were to over-order and then have some availability stock for people to pay. But on kind of how I do at least the patron tiers, it's just not feasible with the amount of capital that gets tied up, and then things like a market crash just ends up killing you. So I have to re-evaluate how I do this business and reach out to some of the patrons and I'm trying to sell it as a selling point, and more that you're invested in a kind of a share or a stock in the game store. So everything that we're able to get based upon being a brick and mortar and you know some of the things that are allocated, those are the things that if we're not going to use them in the store, they will go to patrons. A good example of that is this. We only want a couple of these right now, but I mean, usually take like you get allocated a bunch and you're supposed to take your allocation. So there's like D&D books that are available. If you are interested in this Big B Presents, just message me, because these are the type of things that are available as well. It's not just Magic and Pokemon that we do at this operation. So anyway, this is what's been, I showed in the other video, what's been building up with Pokemon, of having to, you know, order it over time. Where did I go with my thought with Pokemon?
I don't know. You were stacking everything over here.
Well, no,
but they were reprinting it.
Yeah, about the
amount of prints.
But it's just, it's like the Pokemon Obsidian Flames, though. We've just hit the, like, they did the right thing. Like, Pokemon cut back on reprints. However, I've heard there's rumors that Evolving Sky got a reprint. And we do know that there was another wave of, like, Lost Origins and Brilliant Stars, which is absolutely ridiculous. Both those were still so flooded. And I've been noticing the prices on Pokemon packs have been trending very similar to the prices on like Magic. It's just been going down for the last 6-7 months. It spells disaster with Lorcana just absolutely taking over the entire market share. We are getting calls all the way from like Phoenix and Boise and all these places. It's the same thing. This happened with Flesh and Blood, and we were so, like, I was so livid by the people that the scalpers is what I like to kind of call them, that would, because who do you think we are? Do you think we're just dumb? A lot of these people from these bigger cities and stuff, that they're going to just call small game stores like, hey, do you happen to have a first edition Welcome to Wrath I can buy for, you know, MSRP or whatever? And you go and check, and it's like, you know, they were going for, you know, X times, you know. So it's these people that just go from shop to shop to shop to try to, you know, prey on good graces and things like that too. So we're starting to get flooded with calls from randos all over the internet trying for Lorcana, because Lorcana is selling at what, 4x a box now? It's like $300, and its driven price was like, I don't know, in the 60s, 70s for it. So Lorcana, like if it's got that sort of price tag for Lorcana, if there's that much demand for it, then it's got to be eating into Pokemon and Magic's share. And it's just, I don't know, it's really sad that both Pokemon and Magic have come to this, because, I mean, who would have thought? Well, I would have thought, because I've been screaming it on one of the reasons I haven't been doing Rogue Market or the Rogue Deck Builder. It's just been so sad at the downfall of Magic the Gathering, which I spent so much of my life. I'm married to this stupid game, and I've just seen it so mismanaged to the point that it's people's collections have all got completely dumped on. And the problem with, like, I hear all these comments too in the comment section, like, this is great for cheap singles, this is great for, well, good for you. The problem is that Magic the Gathering was originally marketed as a collectible card game. And we had 28 years of Magic being the most stable market ever, where it was like, you knew things. You knew if you put money into a product, even Dragon's Maze. That was the whole thing. Dragon's Maze is like the one exception in that entire time frame that was considered like a product that just went, you know.
It was dismal.
But it didn't go as bad as something like Crimson Vow.
Yeah.
I didn't ever see Dragon's Maze get dumped as bad as Crimson Vow. Or, you know, we had some weird, you know, some terrible supplemental products, but they all had low print runs at the time. And I remember even products like, there were some Commander sets that everyone hated. They you know, storage got burned on for a while, but within like a year, they recovered because there was enough time period for things to accrue value. But Double Masters was just the biggest slap, well, Double Masters was, but Commander Masters was the biggest slap in the face. And now with Throne of Eldraine just piling on tons of stuff, it's just like there's no faith left in this market. And what I was saying with my thought earlier, this came on the heels of Lord of the Rings, which was the best-selling set of all time, and also came on the heels of New Phyrexia, or Phyrexia, what the hell is
All will be one.
All will be one, which is the best-selling standard set of all time. The best. We have this market that's just insane as far as demand is concerned, and it's struggling. It's struggling. It's just absolutely. I've just watched all the prices and all the value of everyone's stuff just completely go, you know, to nothing. And so it's rough. It's a rough time, and same thing with Pokemon going forward. So anyway, that's what I've got going on in the project today. I'll be breaking down all of these. I've never liked these products. I get why they exist.
Yeah.
I get why they sit at Walmart for impulse buys and things, but it's just, oh, it's so, like, I wish that Pokemon would print more booster boxes and ETBs and less of this crap, because this stuff seems like it's an endless supply.
Oh, it's
and
ridiculous.
It's bulky, it's hard to sell. And so, you know, what I can offer patrons too, I can't do this all the time because I'm going to get so burnt out just, you know, getting paper cuts everywhere and ripping it apart, and we fill up the local landfill. But this can be broken down and shipped and whatnot for just the pack price. Most packs right now are about $3. So if you want to know what a product like this, you know, costs a store to buy, you just divide the packs in there. So it's like 4 packs in here, so this probably cost me around $12 to get, give or take. And you know, they have the promo and whatnot in there. So that's what I'm gonna do today, is just breaking this all apart. That's actually how we even fill our own dispensers, is instead of breaking up ETBs or booster boxes, you just like, okay, how many of these are gonna sell? I don't know how many do I have to take? I had to take 2 cases of these. Okay, we'll keep a couple if people impulse buy them, sure. If not, we'll just break them apart. You know, give the big tokens to kids and whatnot, and yeah, I don't know what to do with it. We're flooded with like these V cards and things like that. It's kind of crazy though, because Pokemon from back in the Sun and Moon era, some of those promos are actually worth money now, which is insane if they had the same printing practices. So yeah, again, I sound like a broken record. I know I'm kind of a downer lately with what I've been talking about, and need to get back to the kind of the habit of posting videos and covering topics you'd like. So that's, again, if you have anything you want to hear specifically about our business operation, or have anything interesting for me to talk about, I'd love to do that. Still love to be behind the camera. That's I'm going through a crisis right now with where I want to go with this, because I've just been looking back at the years I've been doing this, and it's so hard for me to get excited about Magic the Gathering. I don't want to jump into Lorcana with the supply issues, and I typically don't like to be following hype trains. Like that's just my personality.
I'm sorry. We've seen it happen how many times in the last 10 years?
Yeah, and I want to say that because people like this is different. But
what has lasted? What has actually lasted?
Was this really any different than Keyforge?
Exactly. Keyforge or Force of Will, or
yeah, I don't know. Force of Will, I don't think had the big brand name recognition around it. But
dude, it was
Keyforge
going
had the
crazy.
Richard Garfield.
Yeah, that's true.
But you know, I know it's Disney, and I know that, like, well, look at Gen Con, sold out. I know. I just like to stay on the conservative side of things. But I'll be trying out Lorcana when I can actually get product. Again, what happened with that is there was just a misunderstanding, and then a rep went on vacation, and now I can't get my product till she gets back off vacation, and then I don't get anything from the other the alternate distributors. When I signed up for Lorcana, you had to pick your main distributor, and so they only had product for the distributor that you picked, and so we're not going to get anything until, and it's all go to the big boys again and stuff like that. So it's really rough with Lorcana. And again, it's just, I know the excitement, it's new. I thought about it, it's a super low card pool. I watched gameplay, I'm like, this is just Magic. When I was looking at the gameplay of it, sure, it might be enough that's different, but I mean, you're always going to have 2 games now that are really going to be competing. I think someone on one of my comments section said, well, this game's not marketed to Magic players. Bull. Yeah, it's the same.
So
card games are marketed to card game players.
Yeah.
There is that massive overlap, and in fact, I think that Magic and Lorcana have bigger overlaps than Magic and Pokemon, or even Magic and Flesh and Blood.
Yeah.
These two are going to just be at each other's throat competing, and it's just going to be a bloodbath, which is going to be weird for the market again. So it's going to cause some really rough times as far as the collectibles.
I just don't want to play Disney.
So yeah, so again, that's my whole point, is I just don't know. I kind of feel lost of what I want to do with content, where I want to go with it. I still like creating content, like interacting with people and doing the the day-to-day stuff, but it's just bear with me where I find my bearings and figure out exactly where to take this, where to go, and where to put my mental energy. Because that's the thing, I don't want to be like, right now money's hard as a game store to actually make it. And I'm not saying that it should be easy. I'm not going to say that it should be a cakewalk to do stuff, but it is extremely difficult to move stuff, to buy stuff, to all of the above. This has just been one of the most toxic markets I've ever been a part of, and it's just like, at what point is it just not worth it anymore to try to deal with the hassle and the headache and stuff? And we have a lot of good memories, a lot of like we've come from nothing and built a our small little empire, as small as it may be, but it's been just it's been a fun little ride. Again, this isn't like I'm leaving, I'm quitting, I'm done. This is just me like just feeling extremely lost with this entire industry and trying to figure out where my place is. It feels like I and other game stores and this just doesn't have a purpose or a meaning anymore like we once did, and kind of the whole ecosystem of the game. So anyway, I'll try to be more positive in my future videos, but again, it's just been weighing on me and whatnot. So appreciate everyone that has supported and helped out. I do still need to move a ton of this product because I've lost faith in most of it. It's still good deals though. I know this is a great time. Like thinking back in, like that was myself kicking myself back in 2018 with Pokemon. I'm like, I should have held on. I should have held on. I should have held on. When those stupid Unbroken Bonds boxes went from like 50 to 250 overnight.
Yeah.
And I'm like, So, anyway, so we'll try to stay the course. Try to stay positive, but it's really, really rough right now with just how things are going. What did you?
Oh, I'm just watching Bruce.
Watching Bruce. Am I stressing you out, buddy?
You good, Bruce?
Give Kevin kisses. Should we sell everything and just start a rescue for dogs and go hiking and fishing with dogs all day?
We need
That'd be a lot of poop to clean up.
Yes, it would. Go get a van down by the river. You want to go for a hike? Do you want to go for a walk?
Sounds like the dream.
All right.
All right. Talk to you guys later.